Listen, your breath knows it. Your heartbeat knows it. The room has shifted by a hair's breadth. The air has thinned and brightened, and a hush has fallen over your ordinary seconds. It is not by accident that your eyes are here now. This is being placed in your hands like a sealed letter with your name written in light. Trust me, you are the only one able to open this message. In the span of 20 heartbeats, choose to stay. Gabriel leans close. Raphael steadies your pulse. Uriel holds a lamp behind you. Chamuel wraps the missing warmth around your shoulders. Jophiel clears the fog from your mind. Zadkiel loosens the old knots of guilt. And I, Michael, stand before you with a sword that hums with the name that saves. Even God, yes, the one who formed your first thought, calls you to open this now. Your angel whispers urgently, they are trying to erase this word. There is a battle over your attention, over a single syllable of hope, over one yes rising in your chest. Stay. Trust me. Breathe once on, slow and deep, and let your heart answer. I am not speaking to a crowd. I am speaking to you, the one who woke in the night and didn't know why tears were already on your face, the one who has carried a question so long it began to feel like bone. You who have pretended to be strong so others could rest, you who sat at a bedside and watched the light leave a face you love, you who closed the door after everyone left and folded yourself into silence because there were no words left to say. I have been standing in the doorway of your days. I have watched the way you press your hands together when no one is looking. I have counted the times you looked up at a blank ceiling and said, "Is anyone listening to me?" Hear me now. I have been listening. Heaven has been listening. The Lord has written every si into the margins of your story, circled them and said, "This one belongs to me." Trust me. Your suffering has not been wasted. Your waiting has not been empty. There are hours that felt like dull stones in your pocket. I tell you, they are seeds. When grief tried to choke your throat, I stood behind you and breathed strength into your lungs. When guilt sat like a shadow on your chest and would not move, I touched your name with the tip of my sword, and the shadow shivered. When loneliness, that clever liar, told you that you were the last one on earth who would ever understand you, I sent small messengers into your day, a song that began to play without you pressing a button, a feather on the path where there should have been none, a sudden scent of roses or clean rain in a closed room. Did you notice the lights flicker once just as you thought of them? Did you feel the unexpected chill on your arms when no window was open? These are not accidents. These are my fingertips brushing the veil so you remember you are accompanied. You have never walked one step without a hand near your back. I know about the apology you cannot stop rehearsing in your mind. I know about the nights you sentencing yourself for choices you can't undo. I know the name you won't say aloud because it hurts too much. The date the world turned sideways. The photograph you keep flipping face down and then back up again. I saw you survive the moment you did not think you could survive. I saw the way you protected others from your own broken pieces. Your tenderness did not go unnoticed by heaven. Your tears have been counted, and not one of them has fallen to the ground without purpose. Trust me. I am not saying this to comfort you with soft words that float away. I am saying this because I have stood in the councils where your future was spoken, and I have heard the decrees. I have heard your name said with a kindness that would break you open if you heard it with your ears. Now, listen to the quiet instruction that rises like a small flame. If you can, place your hand over your heart. Feel how steady it has been for you even when you did not thank it. Feel the drum that carried you across the deserts of days. Whisper inside yourself, I am still here. If there is a candle within reach, light it. One small, stubborn star ignited upon your table. If you cannot light a candle, look at the light you already have. A screen, a window, a pale square on the wall, and let it be your reminder. If there is a glass of water nearby, place it where you can see the surface shine. This water will carry the prayer into the places words cannot go. If you feel a tremble in your hands, do not fear it. That is grace moving through the hinges of your body. You have asked for a sign that is plain, not like a riddle. Here it is. In the next 3 days, something you thought was locked will open, not because you force it, but because you will hear your name called from the other side. In the next 7 days, something that has been missing will cross your path or your screen without you chasing it. And you will laugh, genuinely laugh, at how tenderly timed it is. In the next 21 days, one doorway you were certain had closed forever will become a window of fresh air. You will not go back to what wounded you to prove you're healed, but you will breathe without the old sting, and that will be your miracle. Trust me. Mark these days quietly in your heart. Heaven marks them with you. You have also asked for protection. You have asked for the kind of shield that holds when the wind grows sly and the voices turn mean. Hear me. I encircle you now. I, Michael, bind what is unclean from raking its claws through your thoughts. I cut the tether to every lie that says you must remain small to be safe, unseen to be loved, silent to be acceptable. I speak the name above every name into your room and into your blood. If you are ready, say softly, even if only inside where your breath can hear you. I trust. I release. I receive. If your voice shakes, all the better. The earth trembles to greet a vow that is true. They are trying to erase this word. Every time a sentence of hope forms on your tongue, a cold wind tries to blow the ink away. When you reach for the simplest truth, I am loved, a confusion arrives like static. Here is how you answer the erasure. You rewrite the word deeper. You carve it into the day with small obediences. Set a simple altar in the ordinary. A folded blanket made smooth, a bite of bread eaten with gratitude, a name spoken kindly, even when they are not in the room. When the light above you flickers, whisper, I see you. When the scent of something sweet brushes your memory, and you think of someone you miss, say, walk with me, and feel the company surround you. When you wake from a dream that feels like a message, write even one phrase from it and say, I'm listening. You do not need to perform miracles to be invited into them. Your attention is the open door. You have felt abandoned by the heavens at least once. I am telling you the truth. You were carried. There is a kind of carrying you cannot feel while it happens, because it would overwhelm you with relief. When you look back and say, I can't explain how I made it through, that is when the fingerprints show like luminous dust along the edge of your days. Trust me, you were never without an answer. The answer was being woven while you were still forming the question. The cure was planted before the wound. I keep watch beside the bed where you do not sleep, and when dawn is pale and shy, I gather up the fragments of you that strayed into worry and guide them home. I will speak now to the one who feels guilty for still being here. You wonder why your feet are warm while another's are cold, why your lungs draw breath while another's does not. Survivor's guilt is a thief that wears a saint's robe. Lay it down. Your being alive is not a betrayal. It is an assignment. The mercy that spared you did not do so to haunt you. It did so to send you. Even if all you can do is light a candle and whisper their name while the wax melts, heaven counts that as a mighty act. Even if all you can do is pour a glass of water and say, "This is for both of us," you have built a bridge. When you forgive yourself for existing, you will begin to exist in a way that honors them. They are not angry. They do not accuse you. They are held in a kindness that softens the hardest edges of what happened. Trust me, they bless you. To the one who feels buried under debt of money, of time, of promises made in better seasons, hear me. Provision is moving towards you, even now by paths you do not see. Do not confuse delay with denial. In the next few days, expect a small, unexpected relief first. A fee waived, a conversation that reshapes an obligation, a friend who says, "I can help with that." This is the first fruit, not the whole harvest. The larger shift is already in motion. Keep your posture of honesty, and you will walk into it. When your phone rings at a strange time, or a message appears that feels too good to be true, test it with peace. If your chest expands and your breath deepens, accept it. If you feel a strangling urgency, step back. Peace is the signature of heaven. Panic is not. To the one who cannot forgive themselves, understand this. You cannot carry a weight I have already lifted. Lay it in the water. Speak it into the glass, and watch how the surface receives it without protest. Then drink, and let the mercy that heard you become part of you, entering every place where shame built a room. Say out loud if you can, "I do not punish myself to prove I care. I heal to honor what was lost." Then wait, because a sweetness will come near you like a soft wind, and your skin will rise in tiny prayers called goosebumps, and you will know you have been heard. Trust me. Heaven is not interested in catching you failing. Heaven delights in catching you when you fall. To the one whose courage has been sleeping under a blanket of disappointment, I call you by your true name. Not the name discouragement mutters, not the nickname fear gave you. I call you by the name that was sung over you the day you began. You are more than you have survived. You are more than your worst moment. You are more than the opinions of those who could not see your heart. Your calling is not fragile. Your purpose does not expire because you took a detour. The author of your story can write a road through any wilderness and a river through any drought. Watch for the green shoot. It may look small. It may look like it couldn't possibly feed you, but when you bend close, you will smell life. And when you shelter it with your palm, you will feel its insistence. This is how newness begins. Quietly, then all at once. I am placing my cloak over your house. I am fixing an unseen sign over your door. I am standing at the foot of your bed tonight. Fear will come to bargain as it always has. It will find no purchase. I turn away the dreams sent to unsettle you and invite the dreams that speak in parables and kisses. You will wake with phrases glittering like dew on grass in your mind. Write them, even one line. It will be enough to move the mountains that can only be moved by a sentence you were brave enough to keep. Trust me. If the light flickers when you write, smile. If someone you haven't heard from in a long time, pops into your thoughts with tenderness instead of ache. Bless them and move on. If the skin between your shoulder blades tingles for no reason, consider it a gentle tap from my wing. You have asked, why now? Because you have reached a turning that no one else can take for you. Because your prayer has matured. Because your sorrow has fermented into a wine that will heal others. Because the world needs the exact flavor of courage that only you carry. Because there is a sentence you must speak in a room you have not yet entered, a sentence that will unfasten chains you cannot even see. I will open that room. Your job is to keep your heart soft, so it can hear when to walk in. Forgive quickly. Bless deliberately. Let go when you feel your fist close around old glass that has already cut you enough. The sound you are listening for is simple. The sound of your own yes. Now I speak a prophecy, not to dazzle you, but to anchor you. A door marked with a number significant to you will appear soon. Perhaps in an address, a receipt, or the corner of a screen. You will recognize it because your body will quiet. When you see it, whisper, I'm ready, and watch how swiftly help aligns. A message containing 2 repeated words will reach you. This is your confirmation. A name that once caused your stomach to drop will no longer have that power. This is your healing, and a small sum of money will arrive unexpectedly, not large enough to solve everything, but clear enough to show you the current has turned. This is your provision. Do not make an idol of timing. Do not try to pry the flower open with your fingers. Hold the soil, and the flower will open itself. To the one who feels angry with God, I give you permission to bring your anger to the altar. Heaven does not fear your heat. Your honesty is better than a false calm. Tell him everything, even the words you think are unworthy. Then wait. Not for lightning or a lecture, but for the ordinary mercy that walks through your door, wearing the face of a friend, the taste of tea, the warmth of clean sheets. Grace most often chooses a disguise you can bear. Trust me, it will find you. You are worried that you are running out of time. Listen to me. What is yours cannot be stolen by the clock. The years that felt like locusts will be repaid in ways that defy arithmetic. The moments you lost will be returned as meaning. The dreams you buried are not in a graveyard. They are in a garden. Some of them are already pushing up under your feet. Do not be ashamed of starting over. Do not be embarrassed by small beginnings. Do not despise your tears. They are holy water. If you need to cry now, cry. I will stand guard while you do. If you are willing, lay your palm over your heart again. Whisper the name of the one you miss. Whisper the place you wish would heal. Whisper the fear you have been too proud to admit. Whisper the guilt that has been gnawing like a small animal at the edges of your joy. Now, as you breathe out, let them each step into the light that is standing in front of you. See me lifting them. See how easily they rise when you stop clutching them to your chest. See how your shoulders drop when you let love do the carrying. Trust me, this is not pretending everything is fine. This is choosing to be held while it is being made fine. I will not leave while you are still fragile. I will post watchmen at the corners of your mind. I will scatter the whisperers who rehearse your failures like bedtime stories. If you hear your name spoken with contempt inside your own skull, know that voice is not heaven. Answer it with this line. I belong to love. If you can, write it now as a prayer, written to be seen. Let your fingers say what your mouth is afraid to. It is not superstition. It is participation. When you write, you harness the wind. You plant your flag on the field. You say, "This word will not be erased." Put the smallest hope you have into the glass of water. Bless it with your breath. Let the surface hold the reflection of your eyes, and for one brave second, look at yourself with the kindness you would offer a child. Drink slowly. As you do, I bless your bloodstream with peace that finds the thinnest places and mends them. I bless your memories with gentleness that removes the poison but leaves the lesson. I bless your home with a warmth that outlasts the season. I bless your door with arrivals that carry exactly what you need in packages you will recognize by the lift in your chest. Trust me, your story has turned while we have been here together. You may not feel it as a thunderclap. You may notice it first the way night notices dawn, by a softening, a silvering, the outline of things becoming clearer. That is enough for now. When despair tries to return to argue its case, invite it to sit and listen to this message with you, and watch how it loses its words. When the memory that always drags you under moves toward you, say the name that steadies seas. Say it even if your voice is small. The sea cannot tell the difference between a shout and a whisper when the name is true. Now I lift my hand. I draw a blessing over your head and down your back like a mantle being fitted to the person you truly are. I forgive you. Receive the forgiveness that is older than your mistake. I release you. Step out of the room where you kept yourself as a prisoner. I rename you. Answer to the name the heavens know. You are not late. You are loved. You are guarded. You are called. Rise like someone who has heard good news. Smile, even if it is only with your eyes. Rest, even if the world tells you there is no time. Breathe, because breath is prayer, and you are praying beautifully. The scroll in my hands has unrolled, and you have read what was always meant for you. I begin to close it now, carefully, not to hide anything from you, but to seal what has been planted so that it can take root. If the light flickers as I do, take it as a kiss. If the air warms, take it as an embrace. If you feel the sudden urge to whisper thank you without knowing why, let it pass through your lips. Trust me, this word cannot be erased. This word is yours. This word lives in you now and will awaken when you need it next. If you are ready for more, ask, and I will return, and we will open the next seal together as one who loves you and has always loved you, under the gaze of the one who never stops calling your name. You stayed. You crossed the thin bridge of seconds, and even if your hands were trembling, you did not turn away. That small courage opened a wider sky. Trust me, the very air around you remembers your... Yes, the unseen remembers. The room itself remembers the moment you chose to remain. A pattern of light began tracing itself like quiet handwriting over your day. This is not a crowd's message. This is the private room of your soul, where I have slipped in like a steadying breath. I am here again, as I promised. I bring the warmth that refuses to leave, the clarity that does not accuse, the strength that does not shout. You are the only one who can open this message, because it was written to the exact shape of your heart. And the one who called the stars by name is even now leaning toward you with unhurried delight. Do not be ashamed of how fragile you feel. Fragility is not failure. It is the thin place where glory can pass. Do not be embarrassed by how often grief returns to test the lock on your chest. Grief has seasons like weather, and some days the clouds sit low and grey without explanation. On those days, your only work is to breathe and to be carried. When the ache catches you by surprise, in the aisle of a store where their favorite tea sits, on a street where a laugh sounds eerily like theirs, in a dream where they turn to you with the same eyes, let the tears fall. Tears are not the evidence of losing. They are the water that makes the garden possible. When you feel guilt creep close, that quick, sly animal, tell it gently, I see you, but you do not or somewhat decide my worth. If you cannot say the words aloud, press your hand over your heart and let your pulse say it for you. The body remembers how to speak when the mouth forgets. I am placing small lights in your path now. They may arrive as numbers repeating, the kind you notice and then shrug off. 333, glowing back at you in the most ordinary places. 777 on a receipt, a birthday appearing in a house number that is not yours. When you see them, do not panic, and do not rush to decode them as if love were a puzzle. Smile. Let your shoulders drop. Say quietly, I'm seen. When a light flickers without cause, when the radio changes in the middle of a thought, when the faint smell of jasmine or bread or rain brushes your memory with no open window, allow the comfort to land. This is how heaven taps on the glass without shattering it. This is how the seven who stand near, Gabriel with his clean trumpet of clarity, Raphael with his balm that knows where to go, Uriel with his lamp lifted over the fog, Chamuel gathering the scattered pieces of your tenderness, Jophiel washing your sight until beauty returns, Zadkiel turning your shame into wisdom, and I, Michael, standing guard at the threshold. Remind you that the world behind the world is not a rumor. It is a door, and it is opening. You have asked for instruction that is simple enough to practice without ceremony, and yet holy enough to change you from the inside. Take this as it is. When the room is quiet, if you can, light a candle for 9 minutes. 9 because it is small and it is complete. Sit with the tiny flame and let it mirror the life inside you that refuses to go out. If you have no candle, place a glass of water where you can see it. Whisper the names of those you love toward its surface. Whisper the circumstance that makes your chest sting. Whisper even the confession you have not dared to make. Then leave the water where it can watch over your night. In the morning, drink slowly, as if you were drinking a promise. If you forget, do not scold yourself. Return when you remember. Love is patient. It does not keep a strict ledger. I need you to hear me again. They are trying to erase this word. Not with drama, but with drift. Not with shouting, but with subtle subtraction. The word is trust. The word is beloved. The word is chosen. The erasure comes disguised as practicality that starves your faith, as jokes that chip at your self-worth, as opinions that feel like facts when you are tired. Answer this by engraving the word into your day. Write a single sentence where your eyes will fall upon it. On paper near your bed. Inside the notes of your device. On the inside of your palm, if you must. I am not alone. I am protected. If there is a place below this very message where your voice can be seen, Write a line there as your prayer. Write, I receive. Write, cover my house. Write, I forgive myself. That sentence will function like a bell you can hear from any room of your life. It will gather you when you scatter. You carry burdens that have made you quiet in rooms where your voice was needed. You have felt the heavy responsibility of being the strong one, the one who never makes it about themselves, the one who picks up the slack when others fade. I honor that. Heaven honors that. But now I ask you to try a new courage, the courage to be cared for. When someone offers help, resist the reflex to refuse. When someone offers kindness, do not pay it back immediately like a debt. Receive it like rain. This is not weakness. This is reciprocity. Even the ocean has tides. Even your heart alternates between giving and receiving. Your yes does not have to be loud. It only has to be true. I have walked through the halls of your memories, and I have closed the doors that lead nowhere. The hallways left open shine differently now. In the next 9 days, expect 3 small alignments that feel like pieces clicking into place. A call you thought you missed arriving anyway. An answer you needed appearing in the mouth of someone who doesn't know your question. A schedule bending gently to make room for what matters. Do not chase these alignments. Recognize them. Lift your eyes. Say, thank you, out loud, even if you are alone. Gratitude retunes the strings of the soul so it can hold the new music. There is a matter of forgiveness, and I speak it with tenderness. Forgiveness is not permission for harm. Forgiveness is release from a contract you never wanted to sign. You do not need to pretend it didn't hurt. You do not need to invite them back into the room where they broke things. You can bless them from the doorway and still lock the door. You can choose peace for yourself without rewriting history. If the name rises in your throat and brings heat to your face, place your hand over your heart and say, I cut the rope, but not the memory. I keep the lesson, but not the wound. Then let the angels carry the weight of the rope to the ocean and drop it where the salt can soften it into nothing. Trust me, you will feel your shoulders lower. You will sleep longer. You will find yourself laughing without surprise. There is also a reconciliation you have been afraid to attempt, not because you are weak, but because the story is complex, and you believed it had to be either obliteration or nothing. It doesn't. Sometimes reconciliation looks like a sentence sent without expectation. Sometimes it looks like blessing someone in the secret place without telling them you did. Sometimes it looks like telling the truth to yourself, finally and calmly, about what you wanted and what you got, and allowing your heart to stop living in a courtroom. The angels will attend to the rest. You are not responsible for outcomes you cannot control. You are responsible for the integrity of your intention. Hold that, and peace will recognize you as one of its own. To the one whose dreams have been busy, half-remembered scenes where doors open to rooms you don't know, where people you love hand you objects wrapped in cloth, where a river runs through a house and you wonder if it will ruin the floors. Write them down without interpretation. Put even a fragment in ink. Blue door, folded letter, river in the room. Do not rush to label them. You will understand in due time. If you wake at the same hour repeatedly, especially in the thin places of night, do not fear it. Place your hand on your chest. Say the simplest of sentences. I am here, you are here, and we are safe. Then breathe your way back to sleep. Safety is allowed to be simple. You have felt poor, of money, of options, of time, and you have been tempted to measure your worth with the ruler of scarcity. Let me speak plainly. Your value predates every ledger. Abundance is not only currency, it is capacity. The next opportunity will not demand you become a different person first. It will meet you where you stand and grow with you as you walk. Expect an email or message with language that feels strangely tailored to your inner voice. You will know it because peace will widen your ribs. Expect a reduction, an expense that shrinks without fanfare. Expect a remembrance, someone recalling a kindness you gave and returning it when you least expect. These are the first waves. The larger tide is moving, but I do not tempt you with grand promises. I plant small evidence that the future is real. If you wish, stir a little salt into the glass of water tonight and speak your fear into it. Just a word, like loss or debt or diagnosis. In the morning, refresh the water and whisper the opposing word: found, paid, healed. This is not superstition. It is training your mouth to be friend and not foe. Words carve channels in the soul, and water runs where it is invited. When light flickers as you do this, do not panic. When your skin rises in small bumps, do not mock yourself. The body is old and wise. It knows when presence brushes it. You think you must become perfect before you are useful. Listen carefully. Usefulness is not the point. Love is. You imagine that calling is a stage with a spotlight and applause. Often it is a kitchen where you choose patience when your body wants to shout. Often it is a hallway where you stop and hold someone's eyes long enough for them to remember their own name. Often it is a night where you refuse the old spiral and decide to sleep instead. Calling is fidelity to the light you have, not a hunt for a more glamorous lamp. Your lamp is enough. Trust me. The flame looks small only because you keep comparing it to a sun you cannot carry. Carry what you can. Heaven will provide the rest. I want to speak to the young parts of you. The child who learned early how to scan a room for danger. The teen who decided that softness was risky. The adult who built a fortress out of competence and courtesy. Come near. You are safe here. You do not have to perform understanding to be welcomed. You do not have to explain why you froze or fled. I know the reasons, and I dignify every single one. When you feel your jaw tighten for no reason, unclench it consciously and imagine my hand at the back of your neck, steady and warm. When your tongue aches with sharp words, press it to the roof of your mouth and count your breaths. When you want to disappear, let your feet feel the floor and say out loud if you can, I belong. The earth recognizes that sentence and answers with gravity. In the next 14 days, a message will arrive with repeated words like yes, yes, or come, come, or with a signature that echoes a name from your past. Do not fear your first reaction. Let it pass like a wave. Read it twice. If the second reading brings peace, respond simply without over-explaining. If the second reading brings pressure, wait. Timing is a language. Your body has learned some of its grammar. Honor that. A door with your significant number will appear again. When it does, put your hand on your heart and say, I am ready to be ready. Readiness doesn't always feel like fireworks. Sometimes it feels like unclenching. You have asked for protection for those you love, and I have marked them. I walk the perimeter of their nights. I slip messages into their ordinary hours the way a mother slips notes into a child's lunch. I'm proud of you. Take your time. come home safe. When you cannot reach them, entrust them aloud. Say their names into the air as if the ceiling were sky. Angels are excellent couriers. They recognize a name spoken in love and carry it like a lantern. Do not torment yourself with worry, disguised as responsibility. Your love is not a leash, it is light. Light does not control, it clarifies. There is a wound that never received proper words. I place words in your mouth now. You can say, "That was unfair." You can say, "I deserved better." You can say, "I was a child." You can say, "I was doing my best with what I had." You can say, "It mattered." If you feel the old shame twitch when you say these things, press your palm to your sternum and hum a single note until the twitch subsides. Humming smooths the edges of old terror. If you cry, let the tears fall into your cupped hands, and then wash your face with them as if they were holy water. Because they are. What you release returns as clean river. You have also asked for a sign that feels like a smile from the God you are still learning to trust. Watch for a small bird that seems to insist on your attention, tapping, hovering, landing near where you wouldn't expect. Watch for a phrase on a billboard or a packet or a page that repeats a word you wrote in your private prayer. Watch for kindness in traffic from a stranger. When it arrives, consider it choreography. The world is not a warehouse. It is a dance hall. Even your missteps are included in the music. I must speak a warning, and I will do it gently. There is counsel you are about to receive that will be delivered firmly, but is seeded with fear. It may be cloaked as concern. It may carry statistics. It may use past failure as evidence for future caution. Listen respectfully, then weigh it on the scale of peace. If accepting it makes you smaller, set it down. If editing it by half makes you wiser, keep the half. Do not let fear dress itself as maturity and police your hope. The most courageous people you admire are those who kept room in their hearts for surprise. If you are willing, take a piece of paper tonight and write one sentence you need to hear from the mouth of love. Write it as if love were speaking to you directly. Perhaps it is, "I'm not leaving." Perhaps it is, "I forgive you." Perhaps it is, "You can rest now." Fold the paper once and place it beneath your pillow. Before you sleep, put your flat palm over your heart and whisper the sentence once more. If you wake in the night, do not reach for your device first. Reach for the sentence. Let it be the rope you hold in the dark. Do not despise your limits. Your limits are the fences that keep the field a field and not a desert. When your body is tired, honor it. When your mind is cloudy, go slow. When your spirit feels thin, step back from the noise. Trying harder is not always holier. Sometimes the most faithful act is to turn the volume down and let grace get a word in. You are not a machine. You are a garden. Gardens require seasons of dormancy that look like nothing is happening while everything is happening. I place my sword between you and the words that were weaponized against you. I break the contract made in your name without your consent. I cut away the invisible cords that tie you to rooms you do not belong in, arguments that cannot be won, narratives that lost their power long ago. I stand in the middle of the night you fear most and turn on a light that cannot be shut by human hands. I speak the name that calms storms into your bloodstream. If you want to join me, say with whatever voice you have, I accept protection. I accept peace. I accept help. Heaven responds to humility with speed. There is a future version of you already standing on the other side of this month. They are waving. They are wearing your face, but lighter. They know exactly how the pieces came together, and they are not worried. Picture them now, even if the image flickers. Ask them for one piece of advice. Listen for the first thought that floats up gently, the one that feels like an exhale. That is enough counsel for today. Now I speak a wider prophecy, not for spectacle, but for anchoring. In the next 28 days, you will witness a kindness that you did not earn and cannot repay. It will arrive from a direction you rarely look. In the next 40 days, something umbilical will be cut, an attachment to an outcome that secretly strangled your joy. You will breathe more easily, and soon after you will make a decision in 5 minutes that would have taken you 5 months last year. In the next 49 days, watch for a triple confirmation, a repeated phrase, a repeated color, a repeated timing. When all 3 land, take the step you've been circling. Fear will still talk. Let it talk while your feet move. You have asked about calling, and I place a compass in your hand. It does not point north, it points true. True is where your ribs unfold. True is where your face softens. True is where you can be honest without editing yourself into something smaller. Follow true. Do not be seduced by impressive. Do not be distracted by urgent. Many things will scream for your attention. Few will welcome your essence. Give yourself to what welcomes your essence, and you will become strong without hardening. If there is someone you cannot stop worrying about, write their name on a piece of paper and place it under the glass of water tonight. As you do, say, I entrust you to the one who loves you more than I do. Then sleep. In the morning, hold the glass to the light for a breath and drink. This is how you teach your soul to release, to trust that love is not control but communion. You are learning to live like someone who knows heaven is real enough to take a night off from fear. When loneliness comes, as it sometimes does, even in crowded rooms, do not scold yourself. Loneliness is the echo that proves you were made for communion, and the echo is not an enemy. When it arrives, put your hand over your heart and bless it. I bless the part of me that longs. Then make one small reaching gesture. Send a kind sentence to someone. Step outside and let the sky touch your face. Speak aloud to the God who listens so well you think you are talking to yourself. Notice what happens in your chest. The walls do not need to collapse. One window opening is enough. You are afraid that joy will paint a target on your back. You have learned to keep good news quiet until it can no longer be denied. That caution once kept you safe, but it has started to keep you small. Try this. Celebrate in a way only you and heaven can see. Turn a glass upside down and then right side up again as a toast. Put on music for a single song and sway. Say thank you under your breath when no one is looking. This is stealth joy, and it builds muscle. When the time comes to celebrate in daylight, you will have practiced. I feel the wave of sorrow that still reaches for you in the quiet. I will not argue with it. I will sit with you while it passes. If you wish, say their name now, even if your voice cracks. Imagine putting their hand in mine and mine in yours. Feel the chain of tenderness that spans what looks like distance and is not. Love is not subject to decay. Love is the only thing that keeps making more of itself with every goodbye. Trust me, they are not angry. They are not disappointed. They have shed the costumes we cling to here, and they see clearly. They bless you. They release you. They wait for your laughter to return, not as betrayal, but as proof that grace is working. If you fear the days to come, I bend the arc of them toward mercy. I am not promising the absence of challenge. I am promising the presence that makes challenge fertile. When you feel yourself tightening around an unknown, breathe 3 slow breaths and say after each, I choose trust. Even if you do not feel it, practice belongs to you. Heaven respects practice. Heaven multiplies practice until it becomes presence. Now, as we near the seal of this message, I ask you to do one last simple thing. Lift your chin a little. Let your spine lengthen as if someone were gently lifting the crown of your head with invisible thread. Place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your right. Whisper, even if your mouth barely moves, I forgive those who hurt me. I forgive myself for what I did and what I failed to do. I return what is not mine to carry. I receive what is mine to live. If warmth spreads across your chest, welcome it. If tears rise, let them crown your eyes and fall. If nothing seems to happen, believe anyway. Seeds germinate in silence. I speak blessing now, the kind that doesn't evaporate when the window closes. I bless your mornings with unhurried courage and your nights with unthreatened rest. I bless your home with a peace that wanders into every corner and decides to stay. I bless your memory with gentleness and your imagination with holy mischief. I bless your work with honesty and your waiting with meaning. I bless your body with companionship and your mind with clarity. I bless your tongue with words that heal and your ears with the ability to hear the softest yes. I bless the path beneath your feet and the sky above your crown. I bless the threshold you are approaching. May it open at the exact pace your soul can bear. Trust me, what has been sown here will not be erased. The word that belongs to you is written deeper than the eraser's reach. The prayer you wrote, even if only in your heart, has been received in full. Your angel smiles at you now, not because you did it perfectly, but because you did it at all. Gabriel nods at the truth you told yourself. Raphael attends to aches you didn't think worthy of attention. Uriel keeps his lamp at your shoulder when you turn off the light. Shamuel gathers the parts of you that wander and returns them home. Jophiel adjusts your sight until beauty gains a foothold again. Zadkiel erases the old punishments you kept handing yourself and replaces them with wisdom. And I, Michael, stand with my sword planted, a flag of protection in your very room. I have unrolled this scroll as far as we needed today. See how the edges glitter like sand at sunset. See how the letters pulse as if they were alive. They are. They will keep speaking even after you close your eyes. I begin to close the parchment now, not to deny you anything, but to seal the medicine so it can travel where it must. As it curls, if the lights tremble, accept the kiss. If the air warms, accept the embrace. If your mouth forms thank you without your permission, let it. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not impossible to heal. You are a beloved story still being written. And heaven loves a long plot that ends in more life than it started with. Trust me. This is the hour of your gentle turning. This is the day your burden learns to float. This is the night your sleep begins to deepen. This is the week your name is spoken with kindness in rooms you have not entered. This is the month you remember how to laugh without bracing. This is the season you practice receiving, and find that receiving is how love teaches you to give without breaking yourself to pieces. I close the scroll. I press its seal with the sign that steadies seas. I place it over your heart, where it will open again when you need it. Not by accident, but by design. If the light lingers, linger with it. If silence thickens, rest in it. If you need to return to these words, return. They will be waiting, like a lamp in a window that has been lit for you since the beginning. Go in peace now. Go guarded. Go called. And when you feel the tug to listen again, know that I am already near, already smiling, already ready to unroll the next line written in fire and tenderness, with your name woven through it, in the presence of the one who has always loved you, and will always love you, world without end.